Welcome back, decoders. Welcome to the live stream. I'm having a bit of technical difficulties here tonight, but um, I'll have to get to that in a minute. I'm having trouble with Canva loading my presentation lately, and I don't know why. So, anyways, I'm going to just go with what I got, and I'm going to let people get into the stream, and then I'm going to start as quickly as possible because I have so much to go over. And you guys are going to want to see this. This is absolutely mind-boggling what I'm about ready to show you. And yeah, we're going to dive right into it. I'm going to check and see who's in the chat. Can you guys please give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear me and if you guys can see the screen? Again, I told you guys I'm having some technical difficulties with my stupid Canva, and I don't know if this whole presentation will be visible, but we're going to go ahead and try it, okay? So let me just start by saying that I was listening to Zach Hubbard's live stream the other night after the teams advanced to the Super Bowl, and he mentioned that there was 3 movies that were connected to the Ravens and a bombing at the Super Bowl. So I started looking into this, and then everything just fell into place. And so I'm going to give a few more minutes, let a few more people join, and we're going to get started. This is absolutely ridiculous, guys, what I'm about ready to show you. I mean, this is, if this doesn't wake people up, right, I'm about ready to show you. I'm not saying there's going to be a bombing at the Super Bowl, but they're sure pointing to this Super Bowl with all of these movies that I have posted up here for you guys to see, and even a few more that I don't have here. And I'm going to tie it all together perfectly. Once I found the code, it was so easy, all right? So let me just welcome a few people here. Welcome El Paculi. Welcome X Trouble, Birdie, Jean Francis, Blue Skies Mama, Joseph. Welcome to you, brother. Hope you're doing well tonight. Nice to see you all. Square Peg. Oh man, I'm glad you guys are all here tonight. Square Peg, Joseph, you guys are all gonna be able to probably find more with this, but this is absolutely insane. I mean, I just cannot wait to show you this. All right, so we got 64 in the chat. Let's go. Let's start. All right. Again, hopefully I can get through my whole presentation without Canva completely screwing me up. So, again, I was watching Zach Hubbard's live stream the other night, and he mentioned these 3 movies connected to the Ravens, and I just want to go over them, and I want to show you how they're all connected to this year's Super Bowl and how it all fits perfectly in the puzzle pieces, all right? So first of all, let me go over the movies. The first movie at the top left corner is called Black Sunday, okay? Came out in 1977. That's the first one I'm going to connect, or actually it's not the first one, but that's one of the ones I'm going to connect. The one in the middle is Oppenheimer. It just came out last year, okay? So just came out last year. Dark Knight Rises came out in 2012. The Sum of All Fears, I think that came out in 2002. So basically, this first slide is just an overlay of the movies I'm going to be talking about so you guys can have a reference as to how I'm tying all these things together. All right, so let's get started. So why would Las Vegas in the gematria, why would it have a connection to nuclear or bombs? So I'm going to show you guys just how perfect Las Vegas is connected to nuclear testing and bombs. So this first slide is all about that, all right? I want to give a big shout out to the guy down in the left corner. He's a subscriber, KJ Malone 17. He put me on to a lot of these 115 connections, and I'm going to go over them because they're the important number here, okay? First of all, guys, the Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is known as Sin City. Sin City connects to Lucifer, the 666, the devil, right? So Lucifer equals 115, guys, all right? Las Vegas is located in Nevada, okay, which equals 115. All right, right here. The word nuclear also equals 115. And what makes it even more interesting is that Las Vegas is located at the 115 Meridian West, okay? So you have Nevada, you have the location of Las Vegas, 115 Meridian West, and you have nuclear. Okay. Now look at this little section right here, guys. In 1951, nuclear weapons testing began at Nevada test site 65 miles northwest of Las Vegas. During this time, the city was nicknamed Atomic City. Residents and visitors were able to witness mushroom clouds and were exposed to the fallout until 1963, when partial nuclear test ban treaty required that nuclear tests be moved underground. Okay. So Las Vegas used to be called Atomic City and used to see mushroom clouds. And they're located on the 115 Meridian West, and the word nuclear equals 115. Okay. Like the state, Nevada. Okay. Yes. And the 36th parallel ties to Lucifer, the 666. 666 is the 36th triangular number. So again, we have the Lucifer and the 666 connection in Las Vegas. All right. So not only does nuclear equal 115 in Nevada, the Super Bowl this year is Super Bowl 58, which just happens to sum to 115. Okay. The team that plays in Las Vegas right now that moved from Oakland is the Raiders. And guys, I'm telling you, this is huge stuff right here. The Raiders equals 115. Okay. Like nuclear. And the stadium that they're playing in is the Raiders Stadium. All right. Trinity is the name of the nuclear test. All right. Trinity equals 115, like nuclear. The word killing also equals 115. And just so you guys can see that the 115 is important, December 15th, 2021 is the day that Las Vegas received the Super Bowl. It's the day that they confirmed that Las Vegas would have the Super Bowl. From the day of the founding, so you can read right here, guys. From the Las Vegas being awarded the Super Bowl, 1 month and 15 days before that was the Raiders' birthday, the team that plays in Las Vegas. Okay. And 1 month and 15 days after that was Nevada's statehood. Nevada equals 115, Raiders equals 115. So when Las Vegas was awarded the Super Bowl was exactly 1 month, 15 days after the Raiders' birthday and 1 month and 15 days before Nevada's birthday. This perfectly syncs with all the 115s that I'm showing you here. Also, the Super Bowl is this season, the NFL season started on the day leaving 115 days in the year, September 7th. Okay, so do you see that this is all about the 115 here, guys? No doubt in my mind that this is the most important number when it comes to this. Okay, so. And also, let me preface the rest of this information. I'm not making a prediction about who's going to the Super Bowl for people to bet on. I personally don't bet. But what I'm saying is, this is not about trying to guess who's going to be there. I am breaking down the symbolism of what they're telling us, okay? So with that being said, let's start, all right? So you had these two movies. You had Oppenheimer, about the nuclear physicist who created the first nuclear bomb. That came out last year. You had The Dark Knight Rises, which came out in 2012. These two movies were directed by the same person, Christopher Nolan. Okay, so Christopher Nolan directed The Dark Knight Rises and directed the bomb movie Oppenheimer. In this movie, in The Dark Knight Rises, it's all about nuclear. Okay, read what it says here. 8 years after the events of The Dark Knight, terrorist Bane forces Bruce Wayne to resume his role as Batman and save Gotham City from nuclear destruction. Okay, so this movie is about nuclear. Okay, and even if you watch this football scene, which many of you have probably seen, the guy even says it's nuclear. Okay, so this is all about nuclear and bombs. And the same guy that directed this movie directed Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan. Now, The Dark Knight Rises just happened to come out on the anniversary of the freaking Trinity test, guys. The Batman movie came out on July 16, 2012, on the anniversary of the Trinity test where Oppenheimer tested the bomb, okay? So this is obvious. I mean, these two movies are all connected through the nuclear narrative, all right? And I'm going to get to all, this is just the beginning, guys. Wait till you see what I have to show. All right, so just remember these two movies are intimately connected. Remember, this is number 86, Hines Ward, who played for the Steelers. 86 is the day the first bomb was dropped, guys. 86 was the day that the Hiroshima bomb dropped. And Heinz Ward just happens to be of Asian descent. So that's why he's Asian, because he's 86. The bomb was dropped on 8/6, right? This movie came out on this anniversary of the Trinity test, okay? The next slide, hold on a second. All right, so what about in this movie, The Dark Knight Rises? First of all, the very famous scene in the movie is when the stadium is exploding, okay? And the kicker that you see kicking the ball off to start the explosions is Ravenstall. You guys get it? Ravenstall. Like the Baltimore Ravens who have an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, okay? Now, the player who is kicking this off is actually a politician. He just happens to be a politician out of Pittsburgh, okay? And I'm going to get to the Pittsburgh connection in a minute, but just remember that this Ravenstall player is actually a politician of Pittsburgh, the 59th mayor from Pittsburgh, Luke Ravenstall. Now, I want you guys to notice the gematria here. I want you guys to notice that the number they give us during this explosions in the stadium is the 322, the skull and bones. The Raiders, where the Las Vegas Super Bowl is going to be played, have the skull and bones logo. Essentially, that's the same type of logo as the skull and bones, okay? The Raiders just happened to play last year on the 322nd anniversary of Yale. That's where Skull and Bones is located. And the Raiders of Las Vegas just happened to play on the 322nd birthday of Yale University. They won 17-13 over Green Bay. Okay. Again, Las Vegas is Skull and Bones. They played on the birthday of Yale, the 322 birthday. Okay. Next, notice that the Brotherhood of Death, which is what the Skull and Bones is also known by, equals 83, kind of like football. Remember, football was founded at Yale. So Brotherhood of Death equals 83, like murder, like football, like ravens, like this is Luke Ravenstall. And look at his name, guys. Luke Ravenstall also has the 83 in the same cipher as Brotherhood of Death. So you have 83 all across the board. And you also have multiple matches between ravens and murder. So again, why is there a Ravenstall in the Batman movie? Why Ravenstall? Why do you see his name particularly? Okay. And it connects to the Ravens, who have an opportunity to be in the Super Bowl this year. So this is where it gets good, guys. The team in the Batman movie is called the Gotham Rogues. And notice that the Gotham Rogues are a rogue is kind of like a raider, okay? A rogue person is similar to a raider. As in fact, if you look at the logo for this team in the Batman movie, they have the bandit logo. A bandit is also similar to a raider, okay? But, okay, so in this movie, the bombs are going off. And I urge you guys to watch the scene of the bombs going off in this movie. There's a scene on YouTube you can go watch, so you guys can see the symbolism. But anyway, the main player that's running as the bombs are going off is the Asian player. He comes from Asian descent, Heinz Ward, okay? He wears the number 86. The first bomb was dropped on Japan on 8/6. The Super Bowl this year is in Las Vegas, which equals 86, okay? It was Harry Truman who dropped the bomb. He was the president who dropped the bomb on Hiroshima on 8/6, okay? He was the 33rd president. Now, I want you guys to notice, this is Super Bowl 58, and it's in Atomic City, Las Vegas, Nevada. Notice that Super Bowl 58 is all connected here. First of all, the guy in the Batman movie he played for Pittsburgh. Notice that it says that they used Pittsburgh Steelers players for this scene in the movie, including Heinz Ward. Notice that Pittsburgh equals 58, like Las Vegas NV, like Baltimore, and like Gotham Rogues, which is the team that Heinz Ward is playing for here. Okay, Pittsburgh, PA also equals 58. Harry Truman, who dropped the bomb on 8/6, equals 58. And this all goes back to Freemasonry, which also equals 58. Okay, so you guys see how perfect this is? Gotham Rogues, okay? equals 58, like Super Bowl 58. And in this Super Bowl game here, the stadium is attacked. Okay. And again, in this movie, after they explode the stadium, there's a bunch of raiders that come in and raid the stadium. Do you guys get it? The Super Bowl is being played at Raiders Stadium. Okay. So again, this Heinz Ward wearing 86 is all about the Hiroshima Nagasaki bombings on 8/6. All right. Las Vegas 86. Okay. So the next big one is, what about the team that they were playing against? Okay. They were called the Rapid City Monuments. And Rapid City takes us right back to the monuments. They're destroying the monuments, guys. I'm telling you, they have something planned this year. I'm not saying it's absolutely going to be at the Super Bowl. This is going to tie in very closely. Wait till I get to this next part, guys. This is going to blow your minds. Okay? So the team that they played against in this game in the Batman movie is the Rapid City Monuments. And remember, I told you that it was Luke Ravenstall. Luke Robert Ravenstall was the kicker who kicked off the game. I'll go back 2 slides so you guys can see. It was Luke Ravenstall who kicked off the game playing for the Monuments team. Okay. So the Monuments team, Rapid City Monuments equals Seattle, Washington. Why did I put Seattle, Washington here? Because I want you guys to notice the colors of this team. The closest NFL team to this color scheme is the Seattle Seahawks. And they happen to be in Seattle, Washington. And Washington just happens to be on the monument that these people are referencing. Okay. The Washington head on the monument. You have the Washington monuments, and they have the Seattle, Washington colors. And they happen to have a gematria match, Seattle, Washington, and Rapid City Monuments. And the kicker, Luke Robert Ravenstall, also has the 247. Remember, America is currently 247 years old right now. So this is a big number right now, 247. Okay. Now, look, Super Bowl 58 this year is on 2/11. Okay. There was one Super Bowl where you had the color scheme of the teams in the Batman movie. Okay. Remember, the 2 teams in the Batman movie were the yellow and black, okay, versus the green and blue. All right. And that is a reference to this Super Bowl between the Steelers with the red and black and the Seahawks with the blue and green. Okay. This Super Bowl ended with a final score of 21-10, like 2/11. Okay. Drop the 0, you get 2-1-1. Well, the Super Bowl this year, Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas, happens to be on 2-1-1. And the final of the score of this game was 2-1-1. Okay. Notice that the word nuclear weapons also equals 2-1-1. And guess who won the MVP? Guess who won the MVP for this Super Bowl, guys? Well, it was Heinz Ward. And Heinz Ward is the one running the number 86 during the explosions in the stadium in the Batman movie. Okay? So Heinz Ward, sorry, hold on. Hit the button wrong. So Heinz Ward wins the MVP for this Super Bowl, and I just connected this Super Bowl with the Batman movie. And in the Batman movie, it's the MVP of this Super Bowl who is running away from the bombs. Okay? Do you guys see how perfect this is? Like, just take a minute and grasp this, because what are the chances that this is the player that wins the MVP in this Super Bowl? And usually wide receivers don't win MVPs in Super Bowls. Okay? And remember, he has the 86, which I already talked about. Okay? And this is where it gets good, guys. So now we're going to talk about another movie where the Super Bowl is attacked. And this is the most interesting one. Okay? Look at this. Black Sunday, released in 1977 by John Frankenheimer. Frankenheimer, guys, sounds like Oppenheimer, who is the guy who made the bomb. Okay? And this movie was nominated for the Edgar Allan Poe Award. And if you guys know who Edgar Allan Poe is, he is the writer of the poem The Raven. Okay? And I already connected 2 movies with the Ravens. And now you have this movie all the way back in 1977 that was nominated for the Edgar Allan Poe Award, which once again connects you back to the Ravens. Now look at this, guys. This movie was inspired by the story that came from the Munich massacre, perpetuated by the Black September organization against Israel athletes on 1972 Summer Olympics. Remember, guys, we have an Olympics coming up this year. And wait till I show you what this is all about, okay? But I want you guys to notice that the director of this movie that was nominated for the Edgar Allan Poe Award equals the Baltimore Ravens, 174. John Frankenheimer, 174. And notice that Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven, equals atomic bomb. And again, this movie is also about bombing a stadium. And this all ties to the black too. What do the Ravens wear in the NFL? They wear black, okay? Black Sunday. It could be tomorrow. So this is, okay, the next part is going to blow your guys' mind. When I saw this, I was like, are you kidding me? Look at the plot of this movie, guys. Lander is desperately in love with Daya Ilid, an operative from Palestine terrorist group Black September, who controls and manipulates him. They conspire together to launch a suicide attack using a bomb composed of plastic and 250,000 steel fletchets. They plan to mount the bomb on the underside of the gondola of the Goodyear blimp, which traditionally flies over the Super Bowl, and detonate it over the Miami Orange Bowl during Super Bowl X. Okay? So this movie in 1977 is pointing us to the X again, guys. Super Bowl X. In order to call attention to the plight of the Palestinians and to punish United States for supporting Israel. Do you guys see this right now? This is exactly what's freaking going on. This is exactly what's going on. The Palestinians flight, and they're going to punish against you. They're going to punish the United States for supporting Israel. What's happening right now? Do you guys understand this? And what's going on with all the X's this year? This is Super Bowl X. And it's all about the Palestinians and the Israelites. And this movie came out in 1977, guys. And it was inspired by a real attack during the Olympic Games. Okay? Does anybody in the chat get what I'm showing you right now? Please, give me some feedback on that. Do you get how big this is, what I'm showing you? What are the chances that this is the exact story that we have in the news right now with Palestine and Israel? Okay? And the X Super Bowl at the same time. Now, another big thing is here, 1977 was the 58th season of the NFL. What is the Super Bowl this year? It's Super Bowl 58. This movie points us to the X, it points us to the 58, and it points us to Israel and Palestine. All in the same freaking movie, guys. Okay? And that's all what's going on right now. Notice that the Seattle Seahawks, which I already talked about in this game, they switched leagues that year in 1977. Okay? Yeah, and Edgar Allan Poe died on October 7th, guys. I'm talking about Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe died October 7th. The war started off on October 7th. And this movie won the Edgar Allan Poe Award, guys. The Edgar Allan Poe Award. Come on. And this isn't even it, guys. Just wait till I show you how this all connects to all these movies. First of all, let's go from the actual Munich massacre, okay, in 1972 to the first day of February. The Super Bowl is in February, okay? So I went from the Munich massacre to the Super Bowl this year, and I got 17107 days. That just happens to be the 1972 prime, guys. The 1972 prime. That's the year the Munich massacre happened. If you measure from the movie Black Sunday that was inspired by the Munich massacre, and you measure, you get the 1972 prime. That was the freaking year that the Munich massacre happened. Okay? I know it doesn't go to the exact date of the Super Bowl, but it goes to the very first day of the month that the Super Bowl is in this year, February 1st. Okay? Do you guys see this? The 1972 prime from the movie Black Sunday. Okay? And if you look over here, from the Munich massacre in 1972, If you go forward to the Super Bowl, you get 18787. That's the 2143 prime, and 2143 is the 324 prime, and the Super Bowl that I just measured to is on the 324 day of the year. Okay, do you guys catch this? So if you go from the Munich Massacre to the Super Bowl, it breaks down to 324, and the Super Bowl is on the 324 day of the year. Okay, so there's two date measurements that perfectly place this month, coming month, September, in alignment with this movie and this event, the Munich Massacre. Okay. I was speechless when I found this. So the next one is also big, guys. So remember, in the movie Black Sunday, they drop a bomb over the Miami Orange Bowl at Super Bowl X. And remember, guys, we're in the year of the X. We're seeing all the X's coming up. And look at what Super Bowl X equals. It equals 155 and 115, like Super Bowl 58. 58 equals the same as Super Bowl X, okay? It also equals Raiders, which is where the Super Bowl is being held. It also equals Trinity, which is the Trinity test, the bomb test. It also equals Nevada. It also equals nuclear. All 115. What are the chances that Super Bowl X equals 115? I already showed you how big this number is. And what are the chances that it equals 58 in two ciphers? And this is Super Bowl 58. Remember, this movie came out in the 58th NFL season, okay? And it had Super Bowl X, all right? The 1977 season was the 58th regular season, just like this year is the 58th Super Bowl. And look who won the Super Bowl in the year that this Black Sunday movie came out. It was the freaking Raiders, guys. The Raiders won the Super Bowl in 1977. And I just connected all this stuff with how this year the football game is taking place in Raiders Stadium. And this is the team that won in 1977. Okay. So look what I wrote over here, guys. This Super Bowl 58 is where the Raiders play. And 1977 Super Bowl of the 58th NFL season was won by the Raiders. Okay. Black Sunday was released in 1977. The movie is about Super Bowl X, and this is the year 24, which is the X. Okay. So this lines up perfectly, all perfectly. All right. From Super Bowl 1977, where the Raiders won, to the release of this movie, Black Monday or Sunday, it was exactly 11 weeks and 5 days. And I just told you how that number is the main number. What are the chances that from the Super Bowl win of the Raiders to the movie release was 115? Again, guys, with the 115s. So again, you guys tell me how all this stuff I've showed you cannot line up so perfect. All right. Now let's tie these movies together, okay? This other movie I want to talk about is The Sum of All Fears. It came out in 2002. It's about a nuclear war, and it happens with a Baltimore bomb, guys. Baltimore again. So every movie I've connected with you so far has connected with the Ravens and Baltimore, okay? And Edgar Allan Poe. So the Baltimore bomb happens in this movie, okay? It's a nuclear war movie. All right. The Sum of All Fears. And guess who stars in The Sum of All Fears? And guess who stars in The Dark Knight Rises? Well, it's none other than Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman, guys, he's 86 years old right now. Las Vegas equals 86. The first nuclear bomb was dropped on 8/6. And look at what Morgan Freeman equals in gematria. He just happens to equal nuclear attack in pretty much 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And nuclear attack equals 8/6, kind of like he's 86 years old right now. And 8/6 means to get rid of. And blood sacrifice equals 86. Las Vegas, 86. And remember, Hines Ward in the Batman movie. Sorry, guys. Hines Ward in the Batman movie was wearing number 86. Okay. And this is the movie that The Dark Knight Rises, where Morgan Freeman is in this movie as Lucius Fox. Notice that in this Batman movie, he stars as a character named Lucius Fox, which has the X in it again. But I'll let you guys look at this for a minute and just take this in, because this is also huge. I just connected these two movies perfectly again. All these movies perfectly connected. All right, so this is where my stupid Canva is going to make it hard on me because look at things not loading, guys. All right, so the other guy who stars in The Dark Knight Rises is Gary Oldman. Now this reminds me of Joe Biden, who is the old man who's currently in office. And why do I point this out, guys? Well, because if my picture was actually showing up here, it would tell you that Gary Oldman played Oppenheimer in the Oppenheimer movie. He played Harry Truman. So Gary Oldman played Harry Truman in the recent Oppenheimer movie. Harry Truman was the one who dropped the bomb on 8/6. Gary Oldman also played in The Dark Knight Rises. I just want to show you guys that Gary Oldman equals president in 3 out of 4 ciphers, and he played the president, Harry S. Truman, the 33rd president of the United States. And again, Gary Oldman reminds me of the old man we currently have in office, Joe Biden, right? And this is him I mean, look how close they made him look to Truman. He looks very close to this guy. Look at this. You can barely tell that they're any different. So, yeah, this is him in the movie. So I thought that was crazy. And again, this is the guy that dropped the bomb, Harry Truman. Supposedly dropped the bomb. Again, guys, I don't necessarily believe there's as big a bombs as nuclear, but I believe there's bombs. So let's connect another Super Bowl. Because in the Super Bowl, in the movie Black Sunday, which came out in 1977, which I already talked about, it was Super Bowl X that gets attacked, okay? And it was attacked because of Palestinians and Israel, okay? So the same situation we're going in right now. Super Bowl X just happened to have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I already connected the Pittsburgh Steelers to the Batman movie, okay? So the Pittsburgh Steelers, I already connected, and it just happens to be that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the team that won Super Bowl X against the Dallas Stars, okay? Or the Dallas Cowboys, sorry. But just notice again, guys, that the Pittsburgh Steelers were in the Batman movie. They won Super Bowl X, and Super Bowl X equals 58, equals Nevada, equals nuclear, equals Raiders. This all connects to this year and the Super Bowl. And again, I already told you about all the 58s connected to this. Baltimore 58, Las Vegas Envy, Pittsburgh, PA, Harry Truman. The name of the team in the Batman movie, the Gotham Rogues 58. And of course, this is Super Bowl 58, okay, that we're coming up on. So I just thought I'd point that out. There's probably a lot more to look at with this game, but I just wanted to point out that this game was won by the Steelers, okay? So, oh, and look, guys, hold on a second. Notice that where this game was played. Do you see where this Super Bowl X was played? It was played at the Miami Orange Bowl, which is exactly what this movie depicts. Super Bowl X was played at the Miami Orange Bowl in this movie and also in real life, okay? So yeah, I just wanted to catch that because that's obviously connected also. And now we got to talk about the Usher, which connects right back to Edgar Allan Poe again, guys. The Usher. Remember, Usher was announced as the Super Bowl halftime performer. Last year, the show came out, Nevermore, which is a reference to Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, The Fall of the House of Usher. So from that movie, I'm going to show you the measurements in a minute, but so what are the chances that last year they released an Usher movie and then about the Raven that's connected to the Raven, and then you have the Super Bowl halftime performer being Usher. They're ushering in the New World Order, ushering in the new financial system, ushering in the Antichrist, ushering in the beast. Just notice that Usher Raymond IV, his full name equals Super Bowl LVIII, which is 58 in all ciphers, or except for this last one, which is also a close match. And just notice the 109 here, guys. I already connected the Dark Knight Rises throughout this whole decode. And notice that the name of the show, The Fall of the House of Usher, equals The Dark Knight Rises. Okay? Again, ushering in the Dark Knight equals 109. And the two presidents we currently have right now Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, their full names both equal 109. And the Super Bowl is taking place this year at Allegiant Air Stadium, Allegiant Air, which equals 109, and it's actually taking place in Paradise, Nevada, which also equals 109. So all this stuff connects here with the current situation, what we're in right now. And this one, last but not least, look at this, guys. The Fall of the House of Usher came out on October 12th. If you measure from then to the Super Bowl, it's 17 weeks and 4 days. And that gives you the big number here, 174. Like Number of the Beast, like New World Order, like Baltimore Ravens, which this movie is connected to the Baltimore Ravens, and like Terror Attack, and like False Flag, and like Mushroom Cloud. Remember, I told you that back in the 1950s, Las Vegas was reported to be able to see mushroom clouds during their, during their testing in Las Vegas. All right. So, and again, I already decoded a real life false flag that happened in the Olympics in 1972, which was also called a terror attack. And all these things equals 174, the House of Usher, ushering in the New World Order with a terror attack. How did they usher in the New World Order before with 9/11? Well, they did a terror attack, okay? And all these have the 174, and they're ushering in the New World Order, which equals 174. And they're doing it in Las Vegas, which is connected to the number of the beast, which equals 174. And also, if you do the days guy from the House of Usher to the Super Bowl, it's 122 days. And that just happens to connect to San Francisco, who has an opportunity to play in this Super Bowl, and Kansas City, who also has an opportunity to play, and Las Vegas and NV all equal 122. Pope Francis also equals 192 or 122. So don't overlook this 122 connection, okay? And that's from the House of Usher to the Super Bowl is 122. And I mean, it could be San Francisco versus Kansas City, guys, 122. They both have the 122, and Las Vegas, Nevada has the 122. So don't overlook this. Like I said, I'm not making a prediction. I did a lot of decoding of the Ravens in this, but I'm not saying it's 100% the Ravens make it, but it sure as heck looks like it based off of what I'm showing you, okay? So that's the last slide I have, okay? But there's actually more, but let me go back to the beginning. For those of you new to the stream, I started off this stream by connecting all these movies and all these things connected to bombings and terror attacks. And I'll just let this up for a bit as I go into the chat. So let me see what you guys are saying. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have a lot of stuff going off in your minds. I'm sure a lot of you guys can add things to this. And Joseph Aquaviva, I noticed he was mentioning the 192s. Well, the 192 has a connection with the 174. What I just showed you, the 174, because July 11th on the calendar is the 192 day of the year, and it leaves 174 days in the year. So 192 and 174 have a connection. All right. And Baltimore Ravens equals 174. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that the Ravens make the most sense. But have you guys seen how obvious they're making the Ravens versus the 49ers? They're making it so obvious. So it's hard for me to believe that they're just going to make it that obvious. But maybe they're making it that obvious because we're about ready to reach a very end time tribulation, guys. Maybe they don't care about making it obvious anymore. They're literally going to make it obvious because they don't care, okay? And remember, in Leave the World Behind, because a lot of you guys are mentioning that, in Leave the World Behind, there's bombings happening, okay? And I know I didn't make any connections with Leave the World Behind, but maybe in my next video, I'll also look into that. But I just wanted to show you the connections between all these past movies and the coming Super Bowl. All right, so I don't know what else to say. I mean, if you guys missed it, go back, watch it, and see how it's connected. Again, I'll keep going through these slides so you guys can read and process it as I'm talking here. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for saying. Yeah, I mean, this obviously connects. Somebody's mentioning XRP, the cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency also equals 174, like New World Order. I believe this is going to connect to the money and the cryptocurrency. I just didn't add that into this decode because it would have just been way too long. Uncanny deduction. There is no conspiracy. Yeah, I appreciate your opinion. I believe that there's a conspiracy, but a higher conspiracy. So that's probably what you're getting at. I believe that God is in control ultimately. So yeah, if you're going to the very top, the God is in control, right? That's how I see it. So again, guys, I'm not predicting there's going to be explosions at the Super Bowl. I mean, it's kind of a hard thing to predict, and it's kind of something I don't really like to say anymore. But I just thought, man, guys, how many more connections that I just showed can it? I mean, how much more perfectly can it connect? Yeah, X Trueble XRP does equal 58. So yeah. Yep. So what do you guys have to say? Anything else to connect? If you guys would hit the like button, if I've got 148 in here. Thank you guys for coming along. If you guys could get the likes up, smash the like if you would. I appreciate that. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, I got the link posted at the top here. Buy me a coffee. Yeah, so yeah, I never looked, Square Peg, I never looked to see if there's ever been an actual explosion at the Super Bowl. Remember, the last Super Bowl the Ravens were in, there was a blackout. So again, this also connects to the Ravens. If the Ravens go to the Super Bowl, I would be even more afraid something might happen because it seems like they're always connected. Remember, the Ravens were the team that won the Super Bowl before 9/11. They were also the team that was in the Super Bowl that was the Blackout Bowl, right? Casey Jones, he's saying something here. Jesse T. Usher plays Shaft 3 in the latest Shaft movie. Usher grew up in Chattanooga. Samuel L. Jackson grew up in Chattanooga. Frank Wycheck just died recently in Chattanooga. Wow. Okay. That's very interesting because also I just mentioned Morgan Freeman, who's also born in Tennessee. And there's a nuclear plants in Tennessee, I believe. So something to look out for also. Yeah, I mean, the point of this is the connections, guys. I mean, this whole reality is a connection, right? So I don't think a lot of us are shocked by this anymore. I'm not necessarily shocked by it, but I do enjoy exposing it and showing these connection. Because ultimately, how do we really get excited when we see that, you know, I don't know how to explain it in my own mind, but I also appreciate you guys. So yeah, the purple is on the logo this year. And if you guys go and do a Google search and see the last 3 Super Bowl logos, the team that won was on the bottom, had the most color on the logo. So this year, it would be the Ravens would win if that pattern repeats. So I'm just going through slides and I'm just talking to the people in the chat. I see Sean's in the chat. Usher was born 66 months and 6 days after 4973. That's interesting. Wow. I love your decoding, Sean. Thank you for that, as usual. That's interesting, though. Yeah, of course, the Washington Monument is also in D.C. too, right? So again, I showed you that in this Batman movie, the team that they were playing against that falls into the pit is the Washington or the monuments. That's what they're called. Okay. And the Luke Ravenstall is the one who's kicking the ball off to start the game. And he was a politician in Pittsburgh. And this whole video was connected to Pittsburgh. Okay, Casey Jones says the Manhattan Project in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where the world's most powerful computer is currently located. Yeah. So something with Tennessee also. I also might bring up something else here, something that's not connected to these movies, but I wanted to make it known. You guys know I often talk about WWE here, but they just released their cover artists, their cover stars, and I thought it was actually quite interesting. And I want to show you guys how I think it's connected to something this year also. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Usher Raymond IV equals 192, like leave the world behind. Thank you, Rick, for shouting out my beautiful girlfriend, Magdalena. She's probably watching also right now. She's just not very talkative in the chat. But she does take good care of me. I love her very much. So I just wanted to point out the cover athletes, why I'm here with you guys for this year's game. Or maybe it's not even going to show me pictures of it. Yeah, I don't know why it's... Oh, here it is, guys. So just notice what WWE did this year, okay? They decided to put the cover stars for their new video game as women, okay? Which, again, you guys know I've been talking about a possible first woman president. And I want you guys to look at this woman right here. It reminds me a lot of Kamala. She's from Tennessee. And this girl is from Australia. She's known as the Eradicator. And she's known as Mommy. She's very satanic. But just notice that they have the two girls on the cover. And this is the first time ever that there's two women on the cover. This is the first time ever that there's a woman on the cover, let alone two women. And I believe this woman represents the eradication or the depopulation agenda, I think, or something, because that's what she calls herself. She's in the Judgment Day. Yeah, they're both men, but they're identified as women. So they're both definitely probably men, though. So, anyways, I'm reading the chat, guys. Sorry if I'm jumping around. Casey Jones, Zenith of the Alphas in the chat. Give a big subscribe to his channel. Also, go subscribe to Casey Jones Astrology. Go subscribe to Joseph Aquaviva 2222. Go subscribe to Square Peg Divergent. Go subscribe to Lambda 115. All my normal people I shouted out in the last video. So Zenith of the Alpha is saying in the chat, guys, that the Baltimore Ravens, did you folks talk about the initial BR? Okay, I see what you're saying. BR, Baltimore Ravens, is 218, and that's the big nuclear number. Is the 49th day like the 49ers? That's a good one, Zenith. Again, I think it has to be Baltimore and 49ers, but they make it so obvious so far lately that it's hard for me to believe that they're going to make it so obvious. But all the stuff points to 49ers Ravens. Okay, I mean the best connections are for those two teams. Of course, I can't really count out the Swift connection, the Taylor Swift Chiefs thing that's going on right now, and of course we know that Patrick Mahomes is the Lucifer Golden Boy, and I can't count them out. The Lions also have a narrative. But again, Baltimore and San Francisco just seems to make the most sense in so many ways. Yeah, thank you, Joseph. Appreciate you, brother. Hope to see more videos from you soon. Yeah, so anything else, guys? Let's see. So I'm going to go back to my presentation and just re-pull these slides up for you. So Zenith of the Alpha, if you missed the stream, I have a lot of great stuff in here. I mean, I connected all these movies to this year in some sort of. I'm not saying the attack's going to happen at the Super Bowl, guys. I mean, it might happen in the Olympics this year. Remember, Jason from Archaics has said that he thinks that there's going to be a repeat of the attack in 1972 on the Olympics. So I just wouldn't be surprised if it's the Olympics or if it's the Super Bowl or if it's some other day. Yeah, good connection, Casey. Casey Jones. Venus, the magic square is 7 times 7, which is 49. Remember, Kamala Harris equals 49. Let me close this. Let me bring up the gematria calculator. Let's do a little bit of further investigation. So remember, I was just talking about the 49. Zenith of the Alpha pointed out that 218 is the 49th day of the year. That's the day that Oppenheimer, the creator of the bomb, that's the day he died. Okay. But Kamala Harris also equals 49. And she has the same number as Antichrist, 49. She has the Revelation, 49. And 218 is on the 49th, is the 49th day of the year. Okay. The day Oppenheimer died, the day that Pluto was founded. This all connects to Pluto and Trump. I didn't talk about Pluto or Trump in here, but it does all connect to that. I just didn't put it in this decode. My last decode was all about Pluto. Pluto is connected to plutonium, which is the atomic element. So it's all connected here. But the 49 is also important because it's 7 square. So 7, 7, okay, which is also an important number. And yeah, 49 could be big. So thank you for pointing that out. Okay, that's good one. Smooth Criminal. He writes in the chat 1776 weeks exactly from 49ers Joe Montana's last Super Bowl win to this Super Bowl this year. Wow, 1776 weeks exactly. Crazy. Yeah, Kamala is ruled by Venus, which connects to the 7 by 7 Venus square that you mentioned before. How about this, guys? This stream is huge. There's a lot of connections in here. Does anyone in the chat want to jump on live with me? I have Joseph in the chat. I have Square Peg. I have Casey Jones. I have Zenith of the Alpha. Do any of you guys want to jump on the live with me? Does Sean? I see Sean's in the chat. Do you want to jump on? I mean, I know all of you guys might not have anything to share, but maybe you do. So let me know. It's been a while since I brought people on the stream. And let me know if there's anyone that wants to jump on. Because I want to make this kind of a community thing tonight. Okay, so Sean says he'd be down for it. So is there anyone else? Casey Jones is delivering mail right now. Okay, so maybe another time, bro. So let me remember how to do this. It's been a while since I've let people come on with me. So just a second. Let me take the stream, invite. I'm going to post the link to join in the chat. So there's the link, Sean, if you want to join and share some stuff. Joseph, you're more than welcome to also join. Square Peg, it's been a while since we talked on live, so if you want to also join. Yeah, Joseph, I remember that they just had that article about Big Mike, Obama's wife. She said that she would sneak her way into the presidency, which equals 49, like on purpose. And they said in the same article, you did a video. I saw that. That's interesting. I don't think Square Peg. I don't know if Square Peg's still in the chat, but if she is, she can come on. Yeah, there's a lot of different symbolism here, guys, for the nuclear. I'm not saying there's going to be a nuclear bomb necessarily. It could have to do with money going up or the gold going up. It could be an explosion of some sort of financial thing. It could have to do with a spiritual thing. It could have to do, who knows exactly what this symbolism is about. I'm not saying it could be a physical explosion, but these people they have many ways of doing things. All right, I see Sean is joined the stream. So let me open the stream up and let me get Sean on here. Sean, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you guys hear Sean in the chat? Let me know if you can hear Sean in the chat, guys.
Hello, testing. Can you hear me? I'm just testing for the other people. Can you guys hear me?
I'm waiting for a thumbs up. Hold on. No one's given a thumbs up yet. Maybe they can't hear you.
All right, testing. Okay.
They hear you. Cool. You're good. They hear you.
Cool.
All right, man. Well, nice to see you again. Been a long time since we got on here, but nice to see you and hope everything's going well with you.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I have a new phone now because I remember last time it was broken, so it was like a nightmare trying to I remember it was just so hard to have a conversation. But I have a new phone now, so I'm glad that you can hear me, and I think this will be a lot more efficient.
Yeah, you're coming through very clearly. I really, it's way better than the other phone.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll get into what I was gonna say in a little bit, but yeah, it's been crazy though. Just the past few months, I lost my job unfortunately, and so right now I'm just looking for a new one, and I moved out of a new city that I was in for like 10 years, so like a bunch of changes, but things are actually pretty good. Like I like where I live now, and I'm just kind of ready to start brand new. So I haven't really been decoding or like getting like looking at anything for a while. So this is like the first video that I've really seen of anything. And I saw that it came up on my notification. So when I saw the title, I was like, I'll have to join. And what you shared so far was crazy. It's really insane. Yeah. Especially the part with the movie, like the movie plot. Like if honest, I don't know how like people need to see that. Like the world needs to see that. It's crazy.
Yeah, that you're talking about the Black Sunday plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on now. The Black Sunday plot is literally what's going on right now in every way.
Yeah, and like what are the sheer odds? I mean, I guess you could always think like, yeah, maybe it is God really just doing things like this, like maybe it's really his divine like plan, like he's doing things like this so people like this can wake up to what's going on.
Yeah,
never really know like how it's really being, like how it's really happening, but it's more than just there. It's more than just nothing. Like it can't be nothing,
Yeah, somehow when I think about this, I think about it's a little bit of both. Somehow, I think ultimately there has to be something over all of it, like God's control of it, obviously. But just like in the book of Job, right, in the Bible, God allows Satan to test Job, right?
Right.
So we have to think that basically God uses Satan as a tool to test Job, right? So it's a tool. So regardless of whether these people are, if you want to consider them satanic, yeah, maybe they're the tool that God's using to do exactly what he needs to do, right? Or whatever needs to happen, whatever needs to play out, right?
Yeah,
so that's kind of how I look at it. But
and if it wasn't for like those, I guess that opposition or that's the role that they play in our lives, like we wouldn't even be as awake as we are. So you just kind of have to see it like that. That's how I see it, and I'm like, if it wasn't for like all them, I wouldn't even know what I know, and I would never trade anything for what I know. So I
Right.
can't even be mad. You know, can't be mad.
Yeah. Someone in the chat is saying Morgan Freeman played God a lot. Yeah, he did.
Oh well, yeah. And then like Bruce Almighty.
Yeah. Yep. And then
Um,
like I said, when I saw that Morgan Freeman was in both movies, and I was like, oh well, that's obviously, and he played God, and I think, didn't he play God in Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty both?
yeah, and it's funny. I think so, and it's funny because we've been like with the decode that you did with the uh leave the real behind, and then how you're finding a lot of the symbolism with like the slavery, and then they have Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Yeah.
So there's that like freedom type of symbolism there, and there's something I was going to say, but I'll just share what I was going to share.
Okay. Yeah. Share what you
Yeah,
got.
so it goes off of the Venus. It goes off of the Venus stuff that we were just talking about in the chat.
Okay.
So you know how the total like the magic square of Venus, they're saying is a 7x7 grid, and
Right. Yeah.
so when you add all the numbers, the sum of the magic square is 1,225, like 1225, like Christmas. So something that I do that I just kind of it kind of helps me like or I feel like it helps me like find clues. So if you can type this into the gematria editor, like the date duration, so go from 12 25 49.
Hold on a second. I don't have that up. Hold on. Just a second, bro. I don't have that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have the calculator up. I didn't have the date thing up. I just had the calculator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you
My
go to
computer's a bit slow. So.
Okay. If you're having trouble, just let me know. I could just like tell you what I was gonna.
Yeah, it's just loading very slow. I think I'm gonna close out of my canvas so it doesn't load so slow.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be helpful visually.
Okay, so what date are you saying?
So 12/25. So the date month December 25th. And the year 1949. So the 49 is for the 7x7 grid. So do you see where that date is coming from? Because you have the total of the magic square, and then you have the 49 being the 7x7. So if you go from that date to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, what Sean is saying, guys, if you guys are confused in the chat, is 1225 is the sum of the magic square of Venus, and also 7x7 square equals 49. So he went to the year 1949. All right, so go ahead, man.
So if you go from that date to the date of the Super Bowl, and then you add the end date. Okay. So if you're looking at the days, the 27, that one. So 2,777. That's the 404th prime number, and 404 is a big number because there's 404 total verses in Revelation. Or just if you type in just 2777 without the zero.
Okay. Interesting. That's also a prime too. They're all primes.
Yeah, so that's the 404th prime number, and there's 404 total verses in Revelation.
Yeah.
So that's I've learned that from 7-1, the channel 7-1, and he's found so many things with like Revelation connections with like the 404 and the 2777. Like there was another thing like regarding the Israel war that just so from the date that the UN voted to, so not the Israel independence date, but when the UN had the meeting to vote for Israel statehood, from that date to the start of the war is the same amount of days, I believe. I think it's
the 27077.
Yeah, I believe so.
What was the date? What was the date of the of that? Do you know the dates? Those dates?
It was 11/29. Wait, hold on. Oh, 11/29/1947. Yeah, so it was. Oh, it was a little different, but okay. So it was November 29th, 1947. That's when the UN meeting was,
Uh-huh.
and then
Oh, I see it. Yeah. I see it. It's the same amount of days between the UN meeting and the war start.
yeah, I think it might
Or
be
the
I think it might be slightly different because there might have been 270 or something like that. But it's like it
Yeah.
has that same.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but when I see that number, it's the same to me, you know? Like that zero just
Exactly. Oh, it is exactly. Yeah. So it is the same. It is the same.
Yeah.
Um,
So that would still get you the 277, which is the 404. And the 404 is also the error code when you have an error on a website, you
yep.
know, like
Exactly.
when
Exactly.
it doesn't load, you know, or something like that.
Yeah. I think Lambda 115 did a video about that a long time ago. I think that was I had learned that connection through him too. So
What's interesting too is that this is also this date measurement here is almost 911 months.
yep. Well, also if you think about because it's actually like if you go to the if you choose the date that the invasion started, so if you just go to 10/7, then it'd be 910 months, 1 week, and 1 day. But that still gives you that, like, because 9/11/01, so there's still 3 1s in that whole equation, you know, because like nine
Yeah.
eleven zero one, and then this
Yeah, I
is
see it.
yeah.
So also with this date measurement from this UN meeting to the war starting last year, you could say it was in the 911th month because as soon as you start the 910 month, you actually you finish the 910 month and you're in the 911th month. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. I think that was. I don't know if you have time for one more, but there was like something really. Oh, sorry. Okay, this was okay. So I typed in the chat, but I don't know if you got a chance to see it. So from the beginning of the construction of the Twin Towers to the Super Bowl is
Uh-huh.
606 weeks and 6 days.
When was that date? The construction was that 1967?
It was August 6th, 1968.
Oh, it was August 6th again.
Yep.
Ah, that's the 218 day again.
Yep.
Well, not in that year, I don't think, because that was a leap year.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That connects with what I just showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking about the 86 in the Batman movie. It's Heinz Ward number 86. The bomb was dropped on 8/6. Wow, that's 666 months and 6 days. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know
And
exactly
it's in
what that
Sin
means,
City,
but it
right?
seems like it. Yep. Yeah. And so I don't know exactly what that means, but I just feel like that has to be significant. I don't know why else it would line up like that date.
Okay. So the
Um,
first thing I would think to do right now is to look also how many years was that after the bomb was dropped. Let me look. Hold on.
well, that was before. Oh no, you're right. It was after. Sorry. Uh,
So that was 23 years exactly before the bomb was dropped on 8/6. And that's 841. Huh. 400 days, pretty much. 8/4 again coming up. So yeah, I think that's interesting because if you're going from the bomb being dropped on 8/6 in the Nagasaki, and then you go to the 8/6, which is the construction of the World Trade Center, and then you
yeah.
go 666. You guys, I don't know if you guys in the chat are catching this, but we just measured from the the start of the construction on the World Trade Centers, and it was 666 months and 6 days to the Super Bowl. And I already made lots of connections in this video. If you guys didn't catch the beginning about the 8/6, so that's why if you guys are catching that. So yeah, good one, Sean. Good one.
Thanks. And then I'll just share one more just in case anyone else wants to get on. But this is oh, let me close my window. So I learned a lot about like the I learned a lot about like the Jupiter connections with Kobe through Casey.
Uh-huh.
And if he's still watching, hope he is. But I just wanted to. I don't know if you caught this, but I think this. I keep seeing Kobe things like and he's gonna be his statue is gonna be unveiled. Oh, sorry. His statue is gonna be unveiled in like 3 days before the Super Bowl, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep.
So this was just something that I was just doing like a trial and error. But so he died on 1/26, right? January
Uh-huh.
26th.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he died at age 41. So I made that into a date, and I did January 26th, 1941.
Right.
And so if you go from that date to the Super Bowl, if you want to type that in.
January 26, 1941
Yeah.
to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So if you take out the end date and you look at just the weeks, just go to the weeks.
4333.
Yeah, so it's exactly 433 weeks. So that's interesting because so Kobe's connections to Jupiter have to do with the fact that he was born in Virgo. And when you look at the astrology wheel, Virgo is it's in opposition to Jupiter. So there's a lot of things that like again, I learned this from Casey, but there is a lot of things that have to do with his death that relate to Jupiter, as well as like JFK, because JFK was Gemini? JFK was Gemini, right?
Yeah, JFK was a Gemini. Yep.
So his opposing house is also Jupiter. So they both the planets that rule the houses that they were born in. So their is Mercury, and Mercury is the god of transportation. So they both died. They both died in transportation, like JFK in the car, Kobe in a helicopter.
Right.
So there's this connection with Jupiter, and so the 4333 is significant because if you look up, it takes Jupiter 4,333 days to revolve around the sun. So that's the orbit of Jupiter around the sun is 4,333 Earth days.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's interesting how like I was just kind of playing around with that date, but there's a lot of decoders, especially on Instagram, like they love like the number 126 whenever they see 126 in sports, and they like connect it to Kobe and the 41. So then I was like thinking, all right, like I want to see if maybe there's something with the 126 and the 41 to the Super Bowl. And it's just like, it's crazy because it's exactly 4,333 weeks, like on the nose.
Yeah.
Which is, so if you look, just type in on Google, like how many Earth days does it take Jupiter to revolve around the sun? And it just says, just look that up real quick.
Yeah. I'm a horrible typer, but yeah, it came up 4333. Yeah, that's exactly what we were just showing, guys. In case you guys missed that, I don't know how I got off this, but it's to the Super Bowl this year is 4333. That's the Jupiter, and this is the year of Jupiter. I mean, you got to think about this. Jupiter is the 24 symbol is Jupiter's symbol, right?
Yep, exactly.
Like, if you look at the Jupiter symbol, it's the 24. So it's the 433 is how long it takes. 4333, and there's a very interesting connection to this number also, this 333, because the Super Bowl is taking place at 33333 Al Davis Way. Let me bring it. So this has to do with, in my mind, has to do with the Trinity test. So the Super Bowl is taking place at all threes, right? Remember, Donald Trump was born 333 days before the Trinity test, which is the 333, right? Yeah. And if Mahomes is in the Super Bowl, his full name equals 333. Kamala Harris was born 333 days after the JFK assassination.
Yep.
So Trump has the 333 before the Trinity test. Kamala Harris has the 333 after JFK. And then this Super Bowl was on 3333. And Patrick Mahomes, his gematria has the 3. And he's connected to Kamala Harris because if you type in Patrick Mahomes and Kamala Devi Harris, they both equal 152 in the same cipher. So that's interesting because I'm seeing a lot of 333s, and I'm always connecting it to the Trinity test because the Trinity test is Trinity, right? So it's 3 threes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was looking at that number earlier, actually. So yeah, good connection there with that. Also considering the whole thing with Jupiter.
Yeah, and have you seen the pictures of for the Paris Olympics? It's like the arch, like the arch in France, and then on the two pillars, it's the Jupiter sign with the 24.
Let me look. Is it in like the images on Google?
Yeah, I saw it.
The original symbol.
Oh yeah,
I see it here.
Yeah, it's a 24, so you can see it there too. It's just that's like one of the main symbols of the Olympics is the Jupiter symbol.
All right, guys. So in case you guys don't know this, and anyone in the chat who doesn't know this is literally the Jupiter symbol right here. It's the 24. It's literally the symbol of Jupiter. This is the 2024 year, and it's in Paris, right? Which they changed their logo for some reason to the fire, which I guess, I mean, it's going to be connected probably to the dragon year. But yeah, I think they originally had this Jupiter symbol, then they changed it. Maybe because it was too esoteric and they didn't want it to be obvious. But I mean, they're already doing so much obvious stuff. I don't know why they would change it, but yeah, that's interesting. And I noticed that the Eiffel Tower kind of has that symbol look, doesn't it? Like if you look at the Eiffel Tower, it's kind of like half of that 24 Jupiter symbol in a way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like look how the Jupiter symbol kind of just, the only difference is it doesn't come up to a point, you know.
Look at that, and look at that picture with the airplanes going right into the Eiffel Tower too.
I know, that's what I'm looking at. I'm saying, what is this? Like, and remember, doesn't Las Vegas have a fake or a replica of this?
Yeah.
So Las Vegas, guys, has a replica of the Eiffel Tower. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So you have both these things going on this year. I just made connections to these movies and attacks at the Olympics and possible attacks on Super Bowls. And Las Vegas also has a Eiffel Tower replica, which also connects to this year's Olympics, which has obviously Paris is the Eiffel Tower. So yeah, good connections to think about.
And it's interesting too because we have like the same colors, like the red, white, and blue. I mean, we're not the only countries that have that, but
yeah. Well, Paris is the Jesuits were founded in Paris, and the Jesuits were here in the United States, as Zach usually always says, way before the government was even here. So I mean, it makes sense that we have the same colors also as them.
Yeah, and then also I think we talked about it like a few months ago in one of your streams, but Oppenheimer, it premiered in France. You remember that? Like it debuted.
Oh yeah. I remember that now. That's a good addition because I forgot that actually. Eiffel Tower. Somebody's saying there's an Eiffel Tower near Carbondale.
Oh gosh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Let me look. Hold on. Carbondale, Illinois. That, in case you guys don't know why I'm looking this up, because Carbondale is where the X eclipse goes over. Sorry, my computer it just gets bogged down. So is this really in Carbondale? Seems to be. So yeah, look at this stuff, guys. I mean, we have the eclipse this year. We have the eclipse is going over Carbondale, and there's an Eiffel Tower there, right? And the Olympics is in Paris. There's an Eiffel Tower there. The Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. There's an Eiffel Tower there. And the Eiffel Tower is obviously connecting to the Tower of Babel, in my opinion, or even the needle. It looks like a needle. It also reminds me of the Seattle Space Needle that Jurassic's always talking about, kind of like an inverted one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
gonna look more into
oh
that.
yeah, and 7-1, he made a pretty big connection with the Eiffel Tower too. Like, he was saying that it's like the 3 Greek letters, the iota, the alpha, and the omega, and how that connects to the Bible, like the I am the alpha and omega. So so it's like those 3 Greek letters like stacked on top of each other, and
Right.
I think it's pretty undeniable. I think it like, and then when you type in those 3 Greek letters, it in Greek it adds up to 811, which is what his whole channel is about. So he's made a lot of great connections with the Eiffel Tower. If anyone wants to check out 7-1.
Yeah, I gave him a shout out, I believe, in my last one. I forgot to give him a shout out in the decode before that, but he's also a channel I watch. I watch every one of his videos. So if you guys don't watch 717, let me just type it in here, guys, so you guys can see and you guys can search it if you guys want to check out his channel. 7-1, I believe he spells it like that. So that's his channel. If you guys want to check out, this is the guy he's referencing with the Eiffel Tower, if you guys want to check that out.
And so this will be the last ones, because I do want to let other people join on, because it's a really good chat, and I know a lot of people have a lot of great things to say. So this will be the last thing. If you can type in this date duration. So so the Dark Knight Rises, so it premiered in Madrid, Spain on July 19th, 2012. So so go from that date to Travis Kelce's his birthday, and that's October 5th, 1989. So
Okay.
that's really interesting, because so there's a total of 1,189 chapters in the Bible, and it's just like exactly 1,189 weeks.
Huh. Yeah.
And it's interesting because he plays for the team like right where the New Madrid zone is, like where the earthquake zone is, and you know, that could just be kind of pointing towards maybe where something might be happening, because that was the date of the Madrid, Spain premiere. So Madrid, Spain, and then he plays where the New Madrid zone is, the seismic zone.
Yeah, that's a really good observation right there. I mean, that's interesting. I was looking at this New Madrid thing the other day, actually, because I noticed that this is actually a very high threat for earthquakes. And
Yeah,
you know, you really haven't seen any earthquakes there. Not that I can really think of, not any big ones. So I mean, I would just think that, and this is right by Memphis, this is right by Nashville. I mean, this could connect to a lot of things. I mean, this could connect to Elvis. Again, guys, I left out a lot of Elvis connections in this decode I just did, because honestly, there's a lot. And I always give shout out to Jurassic for that, because he's always finding those. But as I was doing this decode that I just presented to you guys, I was thinking a lot about Elvis. Remember, 1977 was when this Black Sunday movie came out. Okay. Black Sunday came out in 1977. Elvis died in 1977. Seattle Slew, the horse, won the Triple Crown in 1977. And Tom Brady was born in 1977. So there's a lot to think about with that year. Hold on a second. My girlfriend is interrupting with a piece of information. Hold on.
Yeah, I just want to tell you something. Here, the German article from 2013, they're saying here, when San Francisco played against Baltimore in the blackout game, they said this.
Special alert, Michael Anderson was given the microphone.
So during the game between the 49ers and Baltimore, they talked about a terror attack.
Interesting.
After that victory.
So they just
that was the German news article from 2013. They said
okay. All right. So
it's insane.
my girlfriend is talking about the 2013 Super Bowl between let's see. It was the Ravens and the 49ers, which we have a chance to repeat that again this year. Hold on. So this was the Super Bowl, and if you guys remember, there was a blackout in the Super Bowl. But what she's showing here is that the German news during that time, she found an article that was talking about how the German news had said that they had thought that it was a terrorist attack.
No, that's what they said. You can translate it.
This is what the article said. It said Special Agent Michael Anderson, that's an interesting name, was also given the microphone during the victory celebrations and spoke the words that silenced the Babylonian screams in the catacombs. An attack with a terrorist background, Anderson also said, and paused for a moment when all heads suddenly turned in his direction. We can rule out such an attack with probability that the borders. Sorry, the phone was went out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, it's interesting that the German news was posting that at the Super Bowl during that Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, so
they basically said it that during the victory party, this guy with the microphone said it that's about a terrorist attack during this game. You know, I don't know why.
Yeah. So they were obviously referencing a terror attack back then.
During these two people who played their teams. So I don't know.
So again, if we're gonna get a repeat of the Super Bowl, then I don't know if that's not a good sign in my opinion. Anyway, Sean, back to the New Madrid thing. Also, because we were talking about this, and yeah, I really think that this is connected. I'll look more into this because it's interesting. And but what you were saying was that the 1189 was from the New Madrid release of The Dark Knight to the birth of Travis Kelce. And of course, we know that Travis Kelce is in the news right now for dating Taylor Swift. And remember, Taylor Swift is involved with Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes equals nuclear in, I think, all 4 ciphers. Mahomes, nuclear. Let me check and make sure that's true, but yeah, so you guys can see that Mahomes, the quarterback for the Chiefs, equals nuclear. So I talked about that last year, actually. Yeah, Joseph Aquaviva in the chat says he thinks it might be the last Super Bowl ever, and that would be interesting. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of stuff for it, so we have to see. Anyway, Sean, what were you going to say? Anything else?
I guess to close it off, it goes back to the Kobe thing, but it just shows how all these things are really interconnected. Because I was looking at this when Leave the World Behind, when that came out, and remember how they showed the 76ers the mug in the beginning?
Yep.
So the last time that they won the last time that they were in the NBA Finals and when they won, it happened to be against the Bucks, and the Buck was the beginning of. And so if you actually go from the date that they won the NBA Finals, that date, because because I thought of this because somebody mentioned in the chat how Kobe's going to be exactly 200. Is it 211 weeks since his death that the Super Bowl is? And
is it really?
Yeah, so from his death to the Super Bowl is exactly 211 weeks.
Oh my gosh, guys. Huh. Nuclear weapons equals 211.
But so from the last time that the Bucks when the 76ers beat the Bucks in the NBA Finals to the Super Bowl, from when the 76ers beat the Bucks to the release of that movie, it was 2,110 weeks. So it was like the same amount of weeks, just with the 0 at the end. So I just feel like there's like some type of, there has to be some type of like, I'm trying to remember what the date was when they actually won the finals. But if you ever have a chance, yeah.
Yeah, I'll look. I might look at that because this also goes with my Philadelphia connections with the eclipse. I don't know if you caught that video that was about the eclipse, the Philadelphia 65 connections.
I don't know if I got the chance to see that one.
Yeah, that one was like 2 videos ago. That's a huge one. Like the eclipse is all about the 65 because Philadelphia is the 65 city. But anyway, I talked about how Philadelphia was very prominent to this eclipse. And considering that the 76ers are in Philadelphia, and yeah, and remember, Kobe also was born in Philadelphia. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and yeah, this blows my mind though that I got up here. That's 211 weeks exactly from Kobe's death to the Super Bowl on 211. So wow, very interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. For me, I'll stay on the live, and then hopefully other people get to join on so I could learn more.
Yeah, you're welcome to stay on. I can have multiple people on here. So let me see if there's anyone else in the chat that would like to get on. So this is a announcement to anyone in the chat that would like to also share anything about any of these topics. I mean, try to keep it somewhat relevant to the topics, but I mean, if you got something that you really want to share, you can share it. So let me know.
Yeah, I think I do. I might actually have to sign back off. Maybe I can sign back on if you guys are still on, but I'll still be in the chat.
Okay, yeah, that's problem. Whatever you want to do, bro. That's no problem.
Yeah. And yeah, thanks for letting me talk. It's been fun.
Yeah, man, I appreciate having you on. Your mind works very, very. You have some great connections, so I appreciate having you on, and we'll do it again. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, I bounce off a lot from what I learned from you and the rest of the people in the chat. So we all work together pretty well.
yeah, yep. All right, man. Well, have a good rest of your day wherever. I know it's probably still the middle of the day. It's night here, but
Yeah.
So have a good rest of your day, and talk to you soon.
Appreciate it. Yeah, talk to you very soon. Take care.
All right. All right, guys. So thanks again for Sean coming on. Appreciate that. Like I said, his mind works in a very good way, so I appreciate having people on. 22 divided by 7 is also in the chat. I mean, I have so many good people in the chat right now. Casey Jones is asking if you can call in. Unfortunately, I don't have a phone, so it would only be able to go on you'd only be able to come in on the StreamYard. I don't have a phone in Germany that I can call to, so that's why that won't work. Joseph Aquaviva, if you want to come on, I'm assuming you don't because you probably would have already said. But just check out Joseph Aquaviva in the chat. He's sharing a lot of info right now. So let's see how long this live has been. Hour and 33 minutes. So any last calls? And if no one else wants to get on, I guess I'll end the stream soon. But thank you guys for all the connections. Big shout out to Sean and my girlfriend also who came in with a connection there. And yeah, I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, lots of smart people in the chat, that's for sure. I feel very blessed to have all these smart people in the chat. 22 divided by 7, I said, well, the only problem with calling my phone is that I'm using my phone. I don't know if it would work. If you have WhatsApp to call me, I don't know how that would work. Because right now I'm using my phone actually to look at the chat, to read the chat, and also the live stream is going on that right now. So I don't know how I'd even do that. Cindy Lake is posting an address in Las Vegas. Paris Hotel. Okay. 3655 South Las Vegas Boulevard is the Paris Hotel. Interesting. 3655. The 55 is like Satan, right? And the 36 is connected to the 666. So that's got some satanic numbers there. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to share. If you guys missed the stream in the beginning, the beginning part of the stream. Okay, Casey says he can use the app that he's talking about. Yeah, if you want to try, I have WhatsApp, and if you want to try, yeah, can someone, does Sean have a channel? Sean didn't even shout out his own channel, but I'm pretty sure Sean has a channel. Can someone, let's see. Does someone have access to Sean's channel? Because he was just on here, and I'd like to share that. So, so I'm gonna put my number in the chat for Casey to join, and I'm gonna put him on my phone. So hold on a second. The Casey, that's my number in the chat if you want to call in. It's a 1 in front also. And that's on WhatsApp. Thank you, Cindy, for posting all these things in Vegas. I'm going to have to look into this stuff. If you guys are in the chat, you can see Cindy Lake is posting these addresses for all these places in Vegas. The Vegas Needle, the Paris Hotel. Hey, Sean, are you still in the chat? Can you post a link to your channel if you have a channel? Can you post a link in there? Because I don't have your link off the top of my head. But I'll make sure next time I know your link. Okay, Joseph. I see that you said you'll come on the stream one day soon. So yeah, I mean, whenever you want, bro, that's fine. Well, we can do it. Yeah, 22 divided by 7. I mean, one day you can come on and share that. Maybe I'll have like an open stream one day, and all the decoders can come on and share their own personal things. Let me know, Casey, if you're trying to call. I'm not getting any calls right now or anything coming through. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Again, if you guys are just getting to the stream, please go back and watch the stream from the beginning to get the actual information. This stream has now turned into an open stream where everyone's just kind of sharing different things. So if you're confused as to what's going on, that's why. So Smooth Criminal in the chat is asking me to do a date measurement. He's saying, can you measure Illuminati founding date to Elvis' death in weeks? Okay, so let's do that. Illuminati founding date is 5/1, 1977, or 1970, 1976. And Elvis died on 8/16, 1977. And he says to measure it in weeks. So we've got 105026. Okay. And then you said compare with King Charles' birthday to Elvis' death in days. Okay, let's do that. All right, so guys, this is the measurement from the Illuminati to Elvis's death, okay? And from King Charles' birth, which was 11/14, 1948, to Elvis's death, which was 8/16, 1977. Okay, interesting. So you guys see what he's getting at here? If we measure from all right, so if we take out this weeks or the days, I want you guys to notice something here. So from the founding of the Illuminati to Elvis's death is 10502. Okay, 152. This is actually a big number I talk about. Look at this, guys. Elvis died 201 years and 107 days also after the Illuminati. Interesting. So anyway, 152 between the Illuminati and Elvis's death, and 152 days between King Charles' birth and Elvis's death. Interesting. That kind of blows my mind. This definitely has something to do with the 152 that I talk about, like Joe Biden equals 152, like Kamala Devi Harris equals 152, like the word American equals 152. If you spell it right, American equals 152, but it's the same. So thank you for that connection, Smooth Criminal. That is really interesting. And look at this. It's also, if you measure the days from King Charles' death or birth to Elvis's death, it's also 1,500 weeks, 2 days. So it's the 152 twice in the weeks and in the days. And it's 345 months. The president is inaugurated every year on the day leaving 345 days in the year. That's interesting because I already made a connection to Kamala Harris, but President Kamala Harris equals 345. Okay, and every year the president is inaugurated on January 20th, the day leaving 345 days in the year. And I'm just going to type this in. I'm not going to say it, but just so you guys can see why I looked at that number before. Just notice that JB assassinated also equals 345. So in the same cipher. I just thought that was interesting. So yeah, good find, Smooth Criminal. Thank you guys. You guys are all smart. So every single one of you. Okay, and it looks like we have another smart person calling in. This is Casey Jones. He's going to be on the phone. Let me know if you guys can hear him. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me put you on speaker. All right, so I need to... Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so let me make sure that they can hear you.
Okay.
Let's see. All right, guys. Can you guys give me a thumbs up in the chat if you guys can hear Casey on the phone? So you can say something if you want.
What's going on, Cody? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. My phone's not very loud.
Yeah. I'm on my Bluetooth right now, so it's maybe not coming through the best.
Gematria says can hear him a bit. So Carrie Ann gives a thumbs up. So yeah, I guess they can hear you. So you can go ahead and share what you want, bro.
Okay, so you know how Kobe Bryant, he's the last caller. What's his name?
Sean.
Don. He was talking a lot about Kobe Bryant in the 211.
Yeah.
And you know how he's important to Pluto because he had his jersey numbers were 24 and 8. And
right.
The orbital period of Pluto's 248 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he actually switched jerseys the same year that Pluto was demoted.
I think I remember you telling me that. So Can you guys hear everything he's saying? Let me just check one more time to make sure they can hear, because this is good. This is good info, and I don't want them to miss.
Hello?
Can you guys hear what he just said about Kobe Bryant, or is that even coming through? Just waiting for the chat. Okay. They said they could hear.
Okay, I took the Bluetooth out, so maybe this is better.
Yeah, it sounds a bit louder. It's just that my phone volume, my phone's old and it doesn't go up very loud. So I'm just worried that they can't hear, but they all say they can. So, all right.
Okay, good. Well, I've been doing this thing that I call the Pluto lunar count, and initially I came across it when I was looking into Kobe Bryant and Whitney Houston, and she passed away on February 11th, which is this Super Bowl will be the 12th anniversary of her passing away.
Really? Okay,
And,
yeah. I think I remember you mentioning that, but yeah, that's crazy.
And so I wanted you to do a quick date-to-date to kind of, solidify what I'm saying with this Pluto lunar count. And it's just 2 date-to-dates that I think will kind of highlight why I think this is important.
Okay, go ahead and hit me with the first one.
So the first date-to-date will be the Pluto discovery date. Which is 2/18/1930. And then if you go from that date to Kobe's birthday, which is 8/23/1978.
Okay.
You got the number for that in days?
That's the 17,718.
Yeah, sounds right. Yeah, 17,718. Now what I want you to do is go from Whitney Houston's birthday, which is August 9th, 1963.
Okay.
And then go to the day she died, which was February 11th, 2012.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
See, it's the same date span. And so Kobe was born that date span after the Pluto's discovery date, which is 600 lunar months or 50 lunar years. Right. And that was Whitney Houston's age when she died. She was 50 lunar years old when she died. So all right, that's pretty much it. And there was a string of news stories throughout this NFL season where players were falling on that count, like the blindside player, Michael O'Hare. He was on that count, and then there was a Bucks player, Mike Williams. He also was born on that count. So, anyways, that was it, man. I just wanted to share that with you real fast.
Yeah, that's really interesting, considering the fact that the Super Bowl is 211 weeks after Kobe's death, and Whitney Houston died on 2/11, and now we have this connection with Pluto, which, that's right. Really interesting.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, that's like, as usual, it's always good stuff with you, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Cody. I appreciate it.
Yep. Have fun delivering mail. You still delivering?
Oh, I will. Yes, I am. I'm shutting up some parcel lockers right now. So.
Okay. All right, man. Take care. Have a good day. Cody. All right, guys. So I don't know if you guys caught that. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of you guys caught that, but that is huge. I mean, Whitney Houston, dying on 2/11. So let me just go through this real fast to show you what he shared and to kind of explain it a bit more. So Kobe Bryant, his birthday, or the Super Bowl, is on 2/11, and it's 211 weeks after Kobe Bryant died, right? And Whitney Houston, the singer, Whitney Houston, died on 2/11 in 2012. Okay, Whitney Houston, she died on the same day as the Super Bowl, so this will be her, her anniversary. The Super Bowl will be on the anniversary of her death, okay? But if you measure from the founding of the planet Pluto to the birth of Kobe Bryant, you get this amount of days, right? And what he was sharing is that if you go from the amount of days that Whitney Houston lived she lived that amount of days. Okay. So from the founding of Pluto to Kobe Bryant's birth is 17718, and Whitney Houston lived for a total of 17718 days. Okay. And this points to 211 because, again, 211 is both the day that Whitney Houston died and also the day between Kobe's death and the Super Bowl, which is on 211. Okay. So let me get back into the chat for a minute, and then I'll see if there's anyone else that wants to join. Thank you guys so much for all the likes and all the contributions. You guys are amazing. I mean, I got 132 of you in the chat. We got people coming on here and giving good info. This is exactly what I want this channel to be. So I think we'll just go ahead and wrap this up. But I just want to thank you guys, and hopefully you guys all enjoyed this and you understood the information in the beginning. And I appreciate all of you guys adding in. Yeah, you guys got it up to 119 likes. That's amazing. Thank you guys all so much. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. If you guys haven't already hit the like button, please do so. That helps out the channel. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because I think I'm getting a bit tired. So I'm going to wrap it up. But thank you guys. Thank you, Sean, who came on. Thank you to Casey, who also came on. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Square Peg, who was also in. Zenith of the Alpha. Thank you. Birdie Bear, I saw, was in. Monarch Rustock. Smooth Criminal. Gematria 8. 22 divided by 7. Cindy Lake. Warren Jackson. All you guys. So thank you, Rick and Peggy. Yep. Anyways, have a good rest of the day out there, guys. Thank you for watching. And next video will be in a few days. And we'll see you then. So much love. God bless.